Always a good reason to come to Baltimore, but when you're Bill Coen, you've got a little extra special reason to come back to Baltimore after a successful conclusion of the season. The CAA champions, an NCAA tournament bid. I don't think the statute of limitations have run out to say congratulations on all that. Thank you, and it must have been an unbelievable thrill. Take us back a little bit, because this is really the first time we've been able to talk to you on this about that great run through the CAA tournament and into the NCAA tournament.
Well, we were just so thrilled, so happy for our players, proud of their efforts and how much they accomplished, sticking together all year long and sharing the sacrifice and ultimately cutting down the nets in a very exciting CAA tournament. And it's just one of those experiences that you'll remember the rest of your life. And I'm so happy and grateful that our guys got a chance to experience it.
You've had teams that have been there, knocking on the door, and particularly that group last year that won it. Did you see them take some of that experience of getting close and getting knocked down? Did you see them kind of take that and push through with it last year when it came tournament time?
Yeah, I think they did, and I think right before the tournament we had a couple of guys who had been on some of our earlier teams, the Matt Jannings, the John Lees, the Joel Smiths, guys that had got close but didn't finish the job. Really gave them some interesting perspective, and really, I think collectively it was a win for the program and for our university. And I think those guys all shared in that.
Well, what has it meant to you in the program and the university? Has there been some benefits that you've already seen by getting to the NCAA tournament?
Well, I think first and foremost, it's a galvanizing experience. It just brought together our student body. It brought together our alumni base, our basketball alumni base. It just brought everybody back home. And for that, you can't put that into words or feelings. The emotion on campus at that time, the campus was electric, and just very, very, very thrilling event.
Well, you got two players back that just were outstanding last year. I love David Walker. I think he does so many things for you, but Quincy Ford does a pretty good job too, and that's great leadership leading into the year, I would imagine.
Well, both those players have played an awful lot of basketball for us, have a tremendous amount of experience, have a tremendous amount of accomplishment, and they're going to set the tone for our team, and they're going to have to come in each and every night and perform every facet of the game. They're going to have to score for us. They're going to have to rebound for us. They're going to have to defend. They're going to have to, help grow our younger players and provide the leadership that we'll need to compete for another CAA title.
Bill, Quincy's such a great story, too, because the back surgery, the long recovery, and when you needed him the most, he delivered. He was absolutely spectacular. He was the CAA tournament player of the tournament, and it must have been fun for you to watch him, knowing all that he went through to get back there, deliver at the biggest time.
No, I'm glad you mentioned that, because couldn't have been more proud of Quincy and how he struggled back from a major back surgery and battle back, and then to come back to a team and play a different position. His freshman and sophomore year, he played predominantly a power forward position. We asked him to play a small forward position because that's what this team needed. He did that unselfishly, sacrificed some of his numbers during the year so we could have a better team effort, and then saved his best for last and really played really at a high level during the CAA tournament.
You have another one by that name. I assume that, in fact, I know that they're brothers. Tell us a little bit about the younger one.
Yeah, Sage is a freshman for us this year. So grateful to have him on campus, and I thought it said something special about our program that his parents decided to go around for another round of Northeastern. But he's done a remarkable job for us in the preseason. He's a hard worker. He's a fast learner, and we're excited about him.
Charlie, this man's got to be a good recruiter when you can get about 80 feet of snow in Boston. You can get another kid from Florida to come up and play for the program, right?
No, we say it's 72 degrees in the gym all year round.
I promise you it meant a lot that Quincy likes the program like he does. So
absolutely.
That's a great catch for you. I want to ask you a question. I want to ask each coach. We know that the pace of play rules are going to change this year with a 30-second clock along with a few other rules. How is that going to affect your play?
Well, I think you have to be conscious of it. The way the shot clock certainly is going to have an impact, but I think the rule changes in terms of the fouls is going to be interesting to see how that plays out in the early part of the season. you're going to have to be disciplined on the defensive end. You don't want to get in early foul trouble. Certainly don't want your better players picking up cheap fouls, 2 minutes into the game. So I think that discipline early on is going to be telling.
And we mentioned guys like David Walker and Quincy Ford. You've got Zach Stahl coming back. You've got T.J. Williams, who had a terrific year as a young player. I would imagine for a guy like T.J. Williams, that year of experience is going to be huge, particularly now at a faster pace.
No question, and he's been a starting point guard for 2 years, and he's done a tremendous job. He's a really good on-ball defender. He gets in the lane for us and creates offense for his teammates. And you mentioned Zach Stahl, and I think he's one of the more underrated players in the league. He's just our Swiss Army knife. He does just about everything for us, and he kind of is the communication on our defensive end and greases the wheels on our offensive end. So they're two very exciting players.
One of the great stories of the tournament as well was Caleb Donnelly, who hit some unbelievably big shots for you during the tournament. Tell us a little bit about his backstory, which is kind of interesting.
Well, Caleb, I've said it several times about him. He's just an elite human being. When you see how disciplined this young man is, he's just about a 4.0 in chemical engineering. There's nothing that's out of his reach, and it's a tribute to his character, his work ethic, and for him to be able to step in under those circumstances and with that much on the line to step up and make the shots he did was just remarkable. But just another thing, I just would never doubt Caleb Donnelly, just given his approach.
Well, Charlie, this man's got some interesting tests early on. Michigan State, you've got Miami, you've got NC State. You're going to get challenged pretty early, aren't you?
Well, it's pretty typical of what we've done over the years to go out to try to play the best competition we can find because we know what's waiting for us come January, that CAA slate. And, so many great coaches in this league, so much great talent that, we're just sharpening the saw when we play against those teams and try to get better.
Well, Bill Coen in his 10th year at Northeastern is absolutely one of the best, and congratulations again for a fantastic season and the run to the NCAA tournament.
Thank you, fellas.
Bill, thanks very much.